Hi everyone, this is Miss V, and today we're going to be looking at decimal place value. So if I look at my decimal point, this orange dot here between the ones and the tenths place, I can see that that decimal point is separating the whole numbers and then the parts of a whole. So we have tenths and hundredths, and it does continue on in that direction, but for fourth grade standards, they typically work with tenths and hundredths only. And I want to pay attention to the fact that there is no such thing as oneths, and there never will be. So tenths would be our smallest. Those are comparable to a dime, and hundredths would be 10 times smaller, and those are comparable to a penny. So if I have this number, I can see that it ends in the hundredths place. So I would read this as 62 hundredths or 0 and 62 hundredths. We read our decimal point as and. Now, if I have this number, I could read this as 0 and 6 tenths because it ends in the tenths place, or I could read it as 6 tenths. Now, if you were going to compare these numbers and try and determine which was greater, I would go down the line. I could see that they both have 0 in the ones place. They both have 6 tenths. Now, where it's blank after the 6 in the bottom number, I can put a 0 here to show that there are 0 hundredths because there was no value before, but now it makes it a little bit easier to compare the two. So 0 and 0 is the same. 6 and 6 are the same. 2 and 0, it shows that the top value is greater. And when we're comparing, we always start with the greater place values and work our way down. Kids may get stumped when they see 6, 6 tenths, and 6 hundredths. Now, sometimes they'll see that 6 hundredths has more digits, so they may assume that it's greater, but it's actually the opposite. It is smaller. So when this happens, I like to have students line them up by place value, line up your decimal points, and if you look at your 6 ones where it doesn't have a decimal point, you can always add a little decimal point after the ones place because that's where it would fall, because 6 ones or 6 and 0 tenths are the same. So I'm actually going to plug in some zeros here so they all take the same amount of space. My 6 tenths, I'm going to add a 0 at the end. Now it's 60 hundredths. Those are equivalent. That 0 didn't do anything except make it look a little bit nicer. So now when I go to compare, and I always start on the left with my ones, I could see that 6 ones, that would be the largest. And I go down to my tenths, I have 0, 6, and 0. So then the next biggest would be my 6 tenths. And lastly, my 6 hundredths would be the smallest. We can also compare this as my 6 ones is like $6. My 6 tenths is like 60 cents. And lastly, my 6 hundredths is like 6 pennies or 6 cents.